Good Monday morning. Happy blessed Labor Day. If you are able to, get out, enjoy this day. Fuck work, fuck the administration, fuck Trump and all that bullshit. He doesn't give a fuck about you. He would rather you work, so get the fuck out there and rebel. It is September 1st, so don't forget to blow cinnamon out your door. I'll do it out the front door later on. So, we're in Virgo season, of course. That being August 22nd to September 20th, 19th, 20th is around when Libra starts. And soon, we're going to be here in the full moon in Virgo. And that's always about manifesting, growing, doing that work that we need to reach our goals. I can't recall if I said this in my previous video or not, but Virgo governs the day-to-day things, comparative to like Capricorn. So like, that's why it's the 6th house of health, right? Is what we do daily affects our health. Virgo is an earth sign like Capricorn, but the difference is, again, day-to-day versus the mountain, the top, the peak. So we're looking at like day-to-day versus career, like public. Does that make sense? If it doesn't, I'm sorry. Ask me and I'll do my best to describe it. It's still early in the morning. And it makes sense too, as day-to-day is when we analyze, and Virgo's all about being analytical, right? It's governed by Mercury. He was also very analytical and about the logistics in the mind. So it's just like, interesting. Especially when the mind is more air and Virgo is earth. But because of the mutable principle, that is the air, as it were, right? We've got cardinal, fixed, and mutable. Cardinal being the initiation of the season, the start. So we're looking at the Aries, Libra, Cancer, Capricorn. Mutable is that going from one season to the next. So we see that in Gemini, going from spring to summer. Virgo, going from summer to fall. And Sagittarius, I had to think about what the next one was, going from fall to winter. So we see that. On the physical body, this analytical logistics, as it were, translates to the liver. Figure out where the fuck I was in the thing was for a moment. And small intestines and the digestive process. Like, that's a lot. What the fuck? Well, Mercury doesn't rule the liver, but it does rule the gut and nerves inside, which we all know we can always feel when we're eating things we are not supposed to, or maybe we're eating too much and we start to get that pain down there. That's the nerves communicating. It does rule those nerves. So Jupiter as the planet rules the liver here, and so there's planetary and sign overlap. Even though the sign may not be ruled by the planet, they can still overlap. I mean, it's all this beautiful, there's no black and white, truly. I mean, there might be points, but it is mostly gray and overlap. But it's like, how is the liver and intestines an analytical part? Like, what does that have to do with rationale, logistics, the mind? Think about what happens when you eat, right? Once it goes through Taurus, here in the throat and esophagus, we then go through Cancer of the stomach, and then finally it gets down to the liver, where basically it's the warehouse, and it's going to be separating, doing its workings, separating the bits and pieces to essentially categories. What is for the body and what is waste, like nutrients versus waste. What doesn't get assimilated and absorbed gets sent to various organs, then continues through the intestines as it makes its way to Scorpio and out one of the holes. So that's that. And sorry, I'm not good with these presentations, so I know I'm going fast. You may be wondering why I skipped the air and fire signs. To me, these are more the actions. Oh, I gotta charge my phone. More of the actions between the destinations. So glad I didn't shut that off. For instance, Leo is the heart, the cardiovascular. It's a fire sign. It's fixed fires, dead of summer. It's the digestive fire, so it's going to help cook all that stuff that we just consumed, and help break down the ingested food as it works through the body. Part of nutrients, and like I said, Leo rules the cardiovascular, the blood, and that's part of how nutrients get around to our organs in our body is through the blood, the interstitial fluids. The lungs, air, Gemini, is where the gaseous exchanges occur. A good example of this is indigestion. We can get burpy, we get gassy, and that's because there's workings involved that's releasing those nitrogen, the toxins, you name it, what's coming out. Jesus Christ. Minor distraction there. Where was I? Yeah, so I know I get gassy when I'm eating things that maybe is either too much or not what I should be eating. Especially like for me, I'm lactose intolerant, so if I have full fat dairy, like a milkshake, I'm in trouble later. Worth it though, sometimes. And so the Yang zodiac of fire and air is the actions, whereas the earth and water yin signs are the destinations. I don't know if anyone else described it this way, but that's what my brain came up this way. In psychology, it's similar. We analyze ourselves, like I said, and we tend to be our own worst critic, right? The true goal, or evolutionary process, as my teacher Sage Popham has described, is finding the perfection through imperfection. We all know Virgo sun types are mostly very perfectionist types, so very structured, routine-oriented, detail-oriented. Now granted, other placements can make that aloof and, some work. But for the most part, that's what Virgo is. It's analytics, it's structure. Needing things to be how they want. But the problem with that is that's different for everyone. You can't be perfectionist on one thing and expect another one to be that way. It just doesn't work. It's not fair. So in that sense, and we may need compromise for that in that case. Excuse me. If it is for you, do you, boo. Just remember that, it's a transformation and growth sign as well, so invite a little bit of chaos and see how that affects. Because you never know, it might break down that tenseness, that constant stress of needing to be perfect. But if you just allow a little bit of mistake here and there, obviously not where it's going to affect harmfully or negatively in the long term, but like a crochet mistake. Keep that little wrong stitch in or something like that. And to close this out, because we're almost at 10 minutes, dang, some other tidbits for Virgo is that it's a cold, dry, and tense energetic quality. It's the Vata dosha in Ayurveda, and so with working with these remedies, it may be helpful to use herbs that are warm, moist, and relax. Some good examples here, especially with the intestines and liver overworking. If you eat too much sugar, too many fats, the body's working itself trying to get that stuff through. Excuse me. Well, that's not to say we don't need these. We absolutely need sugar and fats in our lives and our diets, but moderation is key, right? It's just you gotta know what your body needs. I say that to myself as well. So, sugar fiend over here. Tulsi, holy basil, that would be a really good remedy for the warmth and relaxing. I don't know if you can see it. It's hiding behind my pepper plants, but it's back there. It's my Tulsi. It smells like cloves of it. It smells so good. It is drying though, so you definitely want some moistening formulation in there as well. It is a Jupiter remedy. My planetarian. It is Sagittarius for sign because it is Jupiter. It is very much a mutable plant with aromatics and fire. Sorry, I had to think of the element. It's a fiery plant. Then we have another good one, burdock. Burdock root. I didn't grow that this year. I actually have plenty of it in stock. It's a Taurian. It's considered Taurus. It's a fixed earth, but it is ruled by Jupiter. And I won't go into details in this for that. That's a whole nother section, but it's remembering that Jupiter rules the liver. So the burdock is a great remedy. Liver remedy. And it helps clean the system, helps get things moving through the interstitial fluid and such. It's honestly one of my favorite herbs. It's very recognizable. It's the ones that grow the burrs that stick to your pants and whatnot. That's burdock. We all know what it looks like, even if we don't realize it. At least those who go into the woods and outside a lot. And it's neutral in temperature, so unlike Tulsi, where it's warming and hot, this is more neutral to cool, like slightly cool, but not really. This is one of those great middle ground formula or herbs, in my opinion. It's moistening, mostly in oils rather than water, like marshmallow root. This is more to, like I said, help with the liver, the bile, because the gallbladder and the bile, all that's connected with the liver. So the bile helps break things down as well. This is very important when it comes to digestion, obviously. Gallbladder is ruled by Capricorn, though, so also an earth sign. Burdock is slightly astringent, so it'll help tone. I don't know why that says perm. Tone or tighten the muscles. So if overly lax tissues, you can't absorb that good either. Or there's way too much getting absorbed and not what you need absorbed. So it's very. It's balance, right? It's not equality per se. It's more of understanding what you need to add or take away. It's not necessarily like I said, black and white equality. It is very much working towards a more desirable goal. Cravings are our body telling us what we need. A burger or steak is telling me I need protein or iron. A salad tells me I'm missing some vitamins that maybe aren't fulfilling me through my multivitamin. So those gut nerves, that's where these come into play. There are signal, it's a communicator from here to here. So that's really analytical. That's the Mercury. That's all the connection. It doesn't seem like it, but it is there. Thank you for joining me. This ran longer, but honestly, I stopped caring about time. You'll just have to see this, unfortunately, on YouTube or somewhere that will hold 50 minutes worth of talk. Again, blessed Labor Day. I hope many of you can relax for this. Sorry, the sun is really coming out now. Fuck the oligarchy and Trump's bitch ass. And then, last but not least, you can find me on hedgeherbsandhearth.com. I'm there on Facebook, Instagram. Not on there as often anymore, unfortunately, but it's just, I'd like to get rid of Meta altogether. I've been on Facebook since 2007, so we got some slow slow breaking up too there. But yeah. Yeah. Catch me on my medias. You'll see the link in descriptions below.